What's up, guys? It's Reaper here. So real quick before we get into the tutorial that I'm going to be doing, I just want to talk about some things about a Bailisong knife. These are in fact weapons. They are very dangerous. You can severely hurt yourself. You can cut yourself. You can take off a finger. They're very dangerous. So if you're considering doing videos like this or just want to learn a few tricks, show off for your friends, which still isn't a very good idea. Um, do make sure and do practice. Practice. You can get a trainer version of this. What a trainer version of this is, it's the same material, the same metal, same weight as the actual knife. It's just that both ends of the blade are dull, so you won't cut yourself. And trust me, you will cut yourself. You will cut yourself. I've cut myself 2 or 3 times. But like I said, if you're considering doing videos like this or anything like that, do make sure you know what you're doing. And these are illegal in some states. They are illegal, and if you're caught with one, it is a pretty hefty fine. So if they're illegal in your state, do not buy it. So you're pretty much out of luck. And if you're underage and you're even considering doing anything with these, which honestly you really shouldn't, do get the consent of an adult. Talk to your parents or legal guardian and whatnot. But if you're underage, get the consent of an adult. I can't stress that enough. Get the consent of an adult. Because, like I said, these are very dangerous weapons, and you will severely hurt yourself if not careful. So, with that being said, let's get into the video. Doing a basic tutorial for a Bailisong, aka butterfly knife, if you prefer. Real quick, these are very dangerous. You can cut yourself if you're not careful, so please be careful upon using these. So I'm doing like I said, doing the vertical opening, which is probably the most basic move you could probably learn, other than the horizontal. The horizontal is pretty basic, but the vertical is just beyond basic. It's like, for just starting out, it's like the perfect thing to learn. So the first thing you want to do, I'll actually show it to you real quick. There's the open and closed. So like I said, very simple, easy to do, but still always practice. Practice makes perfect. So let's get into the tutorial. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is make sure you're holding on to the safety handle. The safety handle is the handle that's closest to the blunt portion of the blade. The other handle that's closest to, that's on the side with the sharp handle, the sharp part of the blade, is known as the bite handle. So you're going to want to be holding on to the safety handle basically when you do any trick, with the exception of some advanced tricks. So, and the reason for that is that if you're holding on to the bite handle and you slip or mess up and get your finger caught in there, and with enough pressure you could probably lose your finger. So always make sure you're holding the safety handle. So alright, let's get into the tutorial. So like I said, this is very simple. What you're gonna do, you're gonna just let it go, but as you're letting it go, you're gonna flick your wrist up. You're just gonna flick your wrist up like this. So when you flick your wrist up, the other side of the knife is actually going to come up and sit on top of your hand, like this. And then you're going to flick it back down. And as you're flicking it back down, like you just saw, as you're flicking it back down, you're going to open your hand. You're going to open your hand just a bit. I like to hold on to the bottom of the blade with my pinky I know that's a little difficult to do, your pinky and your ring finger. So you can go ahead and do that so you keep the blade, so you can keep the knife in your hand and then just flick it back up. So one more, I'll show it to you one more, I'll show it to you again. You're gonna drop it, and as you drop it, you're gonna flick it up. And then back down. And then as you go down, you're gonna open your hand and then back up again. So, and that's the closed version. Closed version is basically the same thing. Here, I'll even show it to you guys in slow motion. Open. Oh, there you have it. The basic vertical opening. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.